Holy crap. Um, Welcome. For those watching it from the future. Because I honestly don't have anybody in the live chat right now. You know, I'm watching it from my side. As always, let's get some music going. It's only going to be a 15-minute. I don't know how to... I know last time music was a bit loud, so I gotta figure that setting out. It's kind of late. It's 12 a.m. over here. Shout out to friends and families who are probably watching this, even though I haven't really told anybody I have a YouTube channel. I kind of don't want to tell people, especially family and friends. They're all pretty busy with their life. Right now I'm just gonna try to play some public domain music, which I gotta find, because last thing I want to do is get a copyright strike. It's so... makes a lot of sense. Public domain music. And I'll have a playlist as public domain, which I'm probably gonna pick, honestly, since I was going through my playlist. I was gonna clean it up. Today I was thinking of doing some gesture studies. Hold on, give me a second. Oh, right there. Now that I think about it, I think I made this playlist for my probation students. I kind of like their music. They introduced me to trap music or instrumental beat. We weren't allowed to play anything gang related, but we were allowed to play instrumental beat. I was a temporary teacher for them when I was teaching back in LAUSD. But it's a whole different environment. It's not like teaching nowadays. So I would argue is it's getting not too close as that. But also want to respect the students and the environment there. Everything's different. There's our reality and there's their reality. And we're just trying to help them out. But doesn't mean I can't learn from them and they can learn from me. I'm no longer doing that. Like, being a teacher is very stressful. It's, if you have the passion for it, awesome. I still teach, but I teach more what's the word, more mathematically based, and those who are willing to learn. Probation, I don't think they do need teaching, but I think it's a very basic minimum. I think they need more emotional, psychological support. And when I say psychological, I mean like therapy. They need to discuss what they're going through. It's not normal. As for students in the LA system, they also, some of them students, not all, need therapy and figure out what's happening that they want to change. This is supposed to be a 15-minute study, and it's turning into a life talk. Trying to figure out where to start because y'all just seeing a blank screen. So let's just get straight to it. The main subject of today is Final Fantasy. I'm not sure where to start. I just want to do some gesture studies. Not gonna lie, I'm getting tired of sexy poses. I just want to do some normal ass poses as people watching. I like this one right here. Maybe we could play around with this pose. I am using Infinity Design now. The thing is, I have to add an image board in order for this to work. So let's add it. Why Infinity Design? Because I bought it a long time ago and I have to pay for subscription. Procreate, I think it's only... I'm not sure actually. Don't quote me on that. I'm not going to be your moral art teacher on what programs to buy. Works for me, works for me. But the functionality is basically the same across layers. Ooh, I like this one right here. I'm more into old classical Renaissance paintings. I feel like some of these are pretty popular. Oh, this is a bit funky for me. We're gonna lower it. It's not my vibe. I'm more of a hip hop type guy. We're gonna go to Google Images for ideas. Google Art, my bad. So once again, Final Fantasy based, but what I think is Final Fantasy. Oh, based from my experience of Final Fantasy. I want to explore Greek art. That's a good gesture studies, Greek art. Especially paintings or Greek mythology. Paintings regarding Greek mythology are always interesting. Because it's an artist's interpretation of a story and they have to bring it to life. That's one thing I've been following up on. The only downside is, here's a good one right here. This is by John Williams. It's a mermaid. Now, see, I can't copy and paste. So I have to bring it here. You know what, that's what we'll do. I'm going to showcase what I'm looking at and where am I getting my information from. I should have done that from the beginning. Here's another good one right here. So once again, I can't copy and paste or I can't share it. You kind of just, and I'm assuming all this is public domain. In other words, it's free to use or free to reuse. You can post it on a t-shirt and you can make money off of it. You're not going to get in trouble. Unless someone owns this, but museums own this. So most art pre-1920, which is 1817, is public domain. But the rights belong to this museum though, so I'm kind of confused. It's kind of interesting. I was gonna do a topic on public domain, but it's always a big, large issue, and I'm still trying to understand how to. Oh, look at this funky pose. I know I got distracted, but I'm still trying to figure out how to properly. What's the word? Really explain what public domain is. Just in general, understand that if anything is public domain, anything, I'm speaking about music, dance, and all that, or something that is available to the public, domain just means territory or area. It belongs to us, the people. Let me see if I could, maybe I could go to this website real quick, and maybe we could figure stuff out. Copy. Paste. Can't believe we're doing a public domain lecture. It's already 5 minutes and I haven't even drawn anything. Score application, terms and conditions. No, see, disgusting. So I'm gonna go into public domain. Just for now, we're just describing gesture studies. That was a funny one. No, we don't want any of this. We wanted to keep looking at Greek, like at poses. That one's a funky one. What does this one belong to? It's a good perspective butt cheek study. Rights. No, this is 1980. So it's always interesting how it works. Here, it's in, I guess? It looks kind of weird though. Gesture studies, all sorts of interesting figures. That's a bit too much. That one's interesting but not interesting. That one good on weight and proportion. So that's a good gesture study, that's for sure. Let's do mythology again. Click on it. Topic. There we go. Much better. So let's grab a good one that I haven't done yet. Let's do this one. I know I have done this one before, but it's actually a good shot. So once again, this is an interpretation, and I don't think this is is this Greek? Thor's fight with the giant. This is Norse mythology. You're more than welcome to just pause the video anytime, or if you're watching this, and just check out the painting. But let's test out each gesture study and see what we can encapsulate from the past. I think we're already at the 7-minute mark. I could be wrong, 10-minute mark. And we're supposed to do a 15-minute gesture study. Because I'm tired, but I want to get some art in. I no means make this a living as much as I would like to. One of the things I would like to do in the future is teach art, but encapsulating other subjects like geometry, math, and just English or history. I feel like art is not just studying what makes art, like fine art. It's understanding the psychology of the artists, understanding the historical context, and understanding what decision was made into creating it, and what makes it alluring and attracting to the human mind. Because they could teach you just the straight up shot. Here's the form, here's the construction, here's the anatomy, here's the shading, weight, balance, and figure, whatever. Anybody could learn that. But what makes it alluring? Why was that art at that time not successful or successful? What made it stand out? So there's a lot of psychology or multiple factors into making art. And you could probably learn a lot through a person, through their art, or maybe not. That's why we study art history, and then there are art critics. I'm trying to find a good music playlist for everybody without me getting canceled. Let's try this. I'm just gonna keep it low. Let's get started. So we're just playing around. From my understanding from gesture studies from the book I've been reading, you want to encapsulate. Well, there's the simple CS method, and I forgot the last one. You only use C and S to form gestures. But there was another book, which it's in my bag, which I should look at the notes. Honestly, you should always review your notes. You can't just blind it. Is understanding of 8 things. The head is one of them. The chest, the pelvic, then the 2 things, which is the arms, the legs. Let's add that up. That's 4 and 3. So I'm missing 1. And I think it had to do with the spine. I could be wrong, it's been a while, but there are 8 things to keep in mind when you do gesture studies. Basically, understanding the relationship between each. Or is it the hands? I feel like hands is important, but I'm not sure about that. Probably wondering, why are you doing boxes for the hands? Because the hands basically form a box. It's the best way to understand it. Like, look at your own fist, then you'll realize it forms a Basically a box, but just do a basic box. Okay, looks kind of funky. We know we didn't hit it, but you know, we're practicing. And I'm just looking at it from a large perspective, so it looks like he's standing. So this one's a bad gesture, but that's okay. We could always retrace it or practice it to really understand it. So let's do it again. We know it's facing this way. We know he's looking down. His neck is sticking out and his chest is back. And his pelvic region is slightly tilting in. We know this part is bigger, his knee, so he's going in. And we also know this one is going down, so it's curving down. You're never gonna have a straight line in the gesture study. Like, the human body has no straight line, honestly, besides hard edges of the elbows and kneecap. But for the most part, it's all curvy. So always draw your lines of curves, never straight lines. I'm trying to figure this one out. So we don't see his knee. Instead, we're gonna curve it down, really down. And we know he's sitting, so why does it look like he's standing up? But we're gonna keep practicing. And then once again, box. And we'll draw the tool. You know what? We'll draw the tool. Okay. Still looks like he's forward. So let's try this one more time. We're gonna use a different color just for fun. Who says we have to use black? We can use as much color as you want. So let's do little proportions. Understand the weight. And then let's start using shapes. It looks like he's going like that. And it's kind of weird because it's like you're watching it from a turned angle. And we know the shoulders have to fit in. Once again, no straight line, it curves. Let's curve down. And then this is leaning on something. So the weight looks like he's going that way. And then he's curving the tool like if it's falling back in space. And the tool should be tilted. So it looks like, so we can see it. Now for the pelvic region, it should be further back. It shouldn't be in the same plane as the chest. Well, it's hard to tell, so we could probably zoom in a bit to see really understand it. It's kind of where it's like one half of it is a bit back and the other is not, so it's a weird one, which makes sense. It falls with the legs. So, and it's sitting on each other, so maybe we should lower this a bit more. So the center of force should be a bit closer as you're seeing it from the same side. And we're gonna use the lines as guide. In the box. So we're gonna fill in the box. So still looks like he's standing because we can see the pelvic, and some of the part of the pelvic is being covered. And once again, we're curving. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Now we're gonna continue to curve. It looks like a straight line, but it's not. And then this part is curving down, and I think it will continue to curve down. So let's draw that. And then the feet, if I had to take a chance, is pointing out. And then this, we can see the feet actually, it's sticking out. So one part should be bigger than the rest. One part should be bigger than the rest. Alright, cool. We have a feeling. Looks like he's kind of looks exactly, not really, because he's tilted. So we're still practicing it. Once again, this is just a gesture studies, just to quickly understand what the action is and what's happening. Those are really amazing artists on Schoolism. It took me like a whole month to take this class. It's like 20 bucks. It's not bad. I recommend you go to Schoolism. If you want a refresher or you want to get some basics of learning. There's multiple artists, famous artists there. And once again, you can get the whole subscription package for $20 and you get access to all the courses. Let's see, let's keep going. So let's erase this. We're gonna choose a different color because why not? Make your gesture studies fun. Get used to color. Let's go over to coded. Let's use blue. I like using blue. We're gonna do the eagle now, but more on this guy right here. So do it quickly. Oops, crap. Do it quickly. Head sticking out, shoulder proportions, body weight. Remember, we don't see much of his waist, so the center, like that. Everything bends. Here's the hard part. Bends within, and then you get the feet, and then continue another part of the feet. And then the arms is sticking out, it's bending, and then even the hands are curving. Now we gotta do the other leg. It's curving up, curving down, and the feet is curving out and out again, or down actually, because it's holding in position. And the eagle, we're just gonna do a best for gesture shape. The eagle looks like a triangle with a strong base in the center. If you want to do a shape, a gesture shape, I'm pretty sure I'm saying this wrong, but kind of looks something like that. Almost looks like a silhouette. And then this shape is focus, like that. And then this is actually a little bit like that. There you go. Why shapes? Well, if you really want to really simplify the shape, you gotta feel this where the action is happening, or where the center is. It feels centered. The weight. It is centered. I think this is called compositioning. Not too quite sure. I do have to review it again, but I should really take out my book, and I know I have it too. Oh well, I'm just gonna keep doing this. But this allows you to see what shape is the story telling you and what's the weight at, and where's the balance. And it gives you an understanding of, okay, poses and gestures. So what pose can I put inside that shape, and what am I feeling, instead of, oh, this is where curves and lines. I think the curves is more for understanding the movement and energy of the limbs and body in general, while shapes or silhouettes gives you an understanding of what pose and what weight in the balance is at. Let's take a look at this one right here. We're probably going to do the gesture study now for that one. I just liked it because it's always a fun and interesting one to look at. It's so violent, put it that way. That's why I like it. I'm going to pick a different color because why not? I like colors, and I decided to pick black, and I said no, let's do fluorescence. We're going to do the arrow one next. Do it quickly, don't overthink it, just look at it straight up. Remember, all curves. And then hands, I like to do boxes. Follow the energy, see where the weight's at. the chest is sticking out and the weight's falling back. And then it's an extreme wild pose. And even the feet are curving in. So this is like a hard perspective, but you can get the feel for it, go for it. And I don't think anybody ever shoots like that, unless there's some physics involved. I think, is he leaning on a creature? No, he's just leaning on a rock. Almost like a leopard. And we're gonna, you know what, we're gonna do that too. We're gonna do the pose of the rock. I know it sounds stupid, but now it looks like he's leaning on poop. But at least we get a feeling of what he's standing on. Almost, you could, it looks like he's, this pose right here, it looks like he's falling. So, just because I did it wrong doesn't make you learn from your mistakes to see what you're feeling. This pose feels like he's in control. So let's do get your shape. This is a straight line across, which controls this part. This part balances it out. Now, since the weight is all falling on this side, this, the knee, like you see the knee, it's holding that in position. That means that also should be holding in this position. Okay. And then once again, the knee is helping balance this part out. So that means this knee should be a little higher up, not pushing it. And then the feet, it's allowing control. And then let's center it out. Let's clean it up a bit to see what we're looking at. And then a lot of these brushes is brushes that I bought or they came with the program and I'm just playing with it. I don't make it my own, I'll let other people do that for me. And we're gonna change the house music because I feel like a lot of you will get tired of this. This is where it gets probably annoying. We're gonna play lo-fi chill public domain. That way I don't get screwed over. Okay, cool. This is part of the YouTube free audio library. Sweet. So let's clean this up a bit and continue to follow that picture. Whoa, a bit hoppy for me. So let's go to OBS. Let's lower the desktop audio. Okay, this is a nice one. Don't worry, I'll figure something out to make things less painful for the ears. Not high-pitched beep noises. So basically, we're just figuring the center of gravity. We get position right here, and we're getting balance right here. And then most of the weight is in the chest and head. While everything else just sort of balances it out. And this is a straight. And then you get all sorts of energy coming from the bow. by following the weight, we're gonna use a little yellow line. So gesture is all about weight. Where is the weight landing and where is the weight shifting? Okay, we're getting. So let's try this again. We're gonna do straight gesture study of the shape. Now we don't know where it's heading. Do it quickly. There's the head. There, it's not going too much. There's the chest, but okay, we're getting somewhere. Not too wild. Some of the shoulders leaning in. Okay. And then some of the weights going here. And like I said, this part should line up with the knee where it bends. And this is bending in, and then bending out, and then bending in, and then bending in. Ooh, perfect. Knee matches up with the center of the chest, or the weight where it's falling on. And then this part we're gonna stick out because there's leverage. And then it's gonna bend in hard because you're never gonna see the leg bent out like this. That's just weird. It's always in, always. That's the only way you could bend in. A leg could never, if I draw a leg, this is the knee, it's never going to bend out. That's just unnatural, or you have a broken leg. And then it's grabbing on. We're going to draw the rock, only this time we're going to give it less poopy texture. And we're going to draw the back rock too. Okay, see? Much better. This is showing me he's stepping all his weight in this area. And I feel like that's another lesson that from schoolism, if I understand from that guy who does gesture studies, which honestly I'm going to look at the book. I feel like a lot of you want to know where I'm getting my information from. Yeah, gesture studies to China's University. I think I filled up the whole. I forgot how many pages this book has. Pretty sure it's 300 pages I filled up, and it's all gesture studies. It took me like 3 months to fill it up. Line of action. Is this it? No, I mean kind of, but no, not really. This is more compositioning and focal point. Kind of. Or pose. What is this pose about? I think that's one thing. And where's this lesson from? I think Alex Wu. I think that's what we all need to. I really recommend following that course because it really helped me understand it. There's more books on gesture studies, and there's more than one ways to interpret this lesson. Alex Wu on schoolism. I won't go into details about him, but really great instructor. I think he used to work for Pixar. Is gesture studies or gesture drawing. That's the name of his course. Hopefully still on there on schoolism. Once again, schoolism by Bobby Chu. That's the guy who started it. But yeah, I think we did a good job of, well, I did a good job on this one. I would like to say that. It could be better, but I got 80 years of my life to improve my art, so what is better now could be better in the future. Let's look at the sad man pose. He's always been my favorite. I don't know if he's the clown gesture contemplating, but such a weird outfit, especially all red around. It's like the devil himself. Okay. Then we're gonna do one last one. I think we're already entering, what's the word? Not sure how long I've been recording or living this, but I'm pretty sure we're hitting the 34-minute mark. Wow, yeah, I should probably stop. It's already 12:41. So that happens when you have too much fun with art. Let's quickly do the sad man and see if we can get it right in the first try. 3, 2, 1, go. Leaning forward, head tilting kind of down, but not really. It's kind of weird because his head is not straight, nor is it too sad. It's like in between here. So let's do that. Okay, good job on the head. It's kind of bending within the chest, so he's leaning into his chest. Alright, cool. It is falling back with the spine. It's kind of slumped in. He's kind of slouching like this. And we know the bottom part is pelvic's pushing out. So let's push out. I know, yeah, for sure, if you look at this painting, the top right, pelvic going in, and this leaning back. So let's try that out. Okay, that's okay. Just remember the rule that the pelvic has to be in the same plane, kind of, or this almost the same size as the pelvic region. And then we're gonna do the legs sticking out. Once again, curves in. It never sticks out. It looks like his leg is sticking out, but it's not. It's just slightly curving it out like that. Then you got his feet, and I always do triangles for the feet. And same thing with this part. Then his feet always stick out. Now we're gonna do his arms. His arms are kind of on top of something. There's an object right here, but I'm not gonna focus too much on it. I'm just gonna do a little pillar. Then we're gonna bend in. Same thing. The arm is kind of push out, and then this part's pushing in. And it's meeting with his hands. And as you can tell, I already screwed up. The hands are not matching because I made it too stick out. So this is more of a perspective issue for me. But one thing, if you want to practice, really understand it. That way you're not looking at things and trying to understand what's happening. Always trace it. You're more than welcome to trace as long as you're learning. There's no, for me, there's no rules on art. As long as you understand what the rules are. Or what rules for help you understand it. It looks like it's curving like that, and I know I said I broke the rule, but once again, if you follow the line just from the center, it always curves in. And just for funsies, just to prove that it looks weird, if you try to draw the bottom part sticking out, it's gonna look something like this. No leg. Wait, crap. Dang it. See, I was trying to showcase something, but crap. Just to prove, we're just gonna end it on a funny note. Alright. I think I grabbed the leg already. No, I just grabbed the picture. Oh, I'll have to rasterize it. So rule number 1, don't just grab an image, rasterize it first until it turns into pixel. Now it's pixel format, you can grab the pixel. Okay. Now that we grab this pixels, this specific leg part, we're gonna bend it in. Look how weird that looks. It's just, I mean, it looks like I'm turning the leg, but no leg. I think that's a bad example. Let's try the next one. Look how weird that looks. The leg should not be bending like that. Or it should not be going like that. See, much better. That's a better understanding. And let's see what it looks like as gestures. I'm gonna erase this. So it's supposed to be bending in. And because of the knee, it allows it to stick out more. So that's why it bends out like that. But you don't see that in a perspective. You just, what you think, or what possibly could be happening is that and that. Yes, for the back string, but not for the front part. So this is the back. This is the front. The front now always has to bend in. If you do it backwards, the gesture, see, well, start all over. Like that, yes. But in terms of energy flowing forward, energy bounces forward. And that's how movement works too. You're always moving. This part always moves forward. Which is the opposite is true. This part always moves back. So understand what your gesture lines mean. Now, it should never, this is a big no-no, because if you want to showcase that, then you're automatically, if the front part looks like that, energy breaks. Because it's supposed to be going forward, but it's not going forward. It's not, the front is no longer going forward, it's going back. So that energy has broken. Energy forward, energy completely reversed. So something's wrong. There's a break in the energy. Same thing if you were to do with the arms. Now, yeah, the arms is kind of confusing, but the arms, same thing. I think you can rotate it, but not enough. I won't go into details of anatomy, but everything has this breaking point. In. So this is the outer region. But the rhythm rule still follows on gestures. Outer region, cool. Inner region. See, rhythm flows. There's a rhythm to these gestures. And even if you take away the creature, you can still see what's happening. Okay, cool. Now let's follow the same duality rule. And I'm just gonna, so this is his pelvis, this is his chest. I'm not even looking at it. His head is like that. And we know it's connected. And the rhythm flows nicely. We know his arms are right here. Okay, cool, it doesn't look like he's flexing. The spine, I'm still gonna practice it. I can't teach it too much on that. But once again, if we could follow the rule, okay, if we're going forward, then the opposite must be true. There's the energy. Cool. Energy. If this is forward, then this also must be slightly forward. And then, oops, I should use a different color for that one. Forward energy. Wow, the opposite is also true. Backwards energy. And if you study the muscles and you look into the science behind it, your muscles also dictate the contrast and pulling. There's another YouTuber who does a big job of understanding duality of the body and just in life in general. But physics, anatomy, and art, as well as just basic science, can help you understand the rules to life. And I would argue if you're an artist and you're understanding how things working in the world, you basically have a concept of art and physics. It can be kind of confusing because this is something everybody has to practice. Vocabulary. If you could expand your vocabulary, oof. And by expanding your vocabulary, you're expanding your knowings of the world or how it works. It'll make your life easier and you start getting those aha moments. But or even philosophy too. I would argue philosophy can be put into art. And I'll tell you this, a lot of this is in life. Good, bad, light, dark. There are opposites. And I think what makes art very amazing is utilizing this concept opposites. That's also the extremes, but that itself has rules as well. If you could hijack this into your art, amazing. And I already did. If you know your fluorescence, you know blue and magenta are a good comp. Actually, I'm wrong on that one. Ha! So I'll stop right there because I'm out of my reach, I'm out of my zone, and I'll leave everybody on a funny note. Let's bring back the broken leg. Ta-da! He's sad, but the pain of his leg is less worse than the pain of his mind.